EVDANCE, NACS to CCS1 DC fast charger adapter. Let's get into it.
Before I start with the unboxing, the EVDANCE Pulse Fusion is a new product of theirs, and they recently released a pretty informative and brief video into YouTube. It's only 1 minute long, and I think it's worth showing the product introduction video because it has a lot of information. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of questions about this product, and I think that video goes a long way to answering a lot of those questions. Let's roll that now. Stop now. Okay, let's see. How am I going to open this? You can see on the back there, we've got the form factors and a couple of button informations, which I'm very interested to start testing out. Oh, comes in a case. I was not expecting that. For some reason, I thought it was just going to be in a box. Wow, very nice looking case. The handle. This is nice. So when you throw it in the sub-trunk, it's easy to grab and pull out of the sub-trunk. We've got an owner's manual, multiple pages. We'll go over that in a second. And the actual adapter itself with some formed foam in order to keep it from swaying around. And a very unobtrusive plastic bag. Feels nice and heavy. And here's the switch, the lock and unlock switch. We'll get to that later. And the button for releasing from the car side and the neck side. So we'll get into all that as we go try this out at the station. Okay, enough talking. Let's do some charging. I'm here at my local Tesla Supercharger station. It's got V4 dispensers, which have the longer cables, which are always nice when you're charging a non-Tesla EV. And this is the EVDANCE packaging. And what I was mentioning is that the A to Z also has that little handly thing, and sometimes it just makes it easier to grab. I've got a couple different. This is the General Motors travel charger, and I keep it here inside the Cadillac. And I also keep my A to Z in here. And these are the two packages side by side. One thing I want to point out about the A to Z, if you look at the form factor, it has the J1772 on top, and then the two CCS connectors on the bottom, and then like a little cutout down here. Now, the EVDANCE is a different shape. You can see the bottom part is completely smooth, and up on top, they have their little downward cutout. I also like the fact that this packaging has like a little notchy hole for your finger to grab the handle to make it really easy. Now, normally that would not matter whether or not it's on the top or the bottom, this little cutout thing. But in the case of the Cadillac Lyriq and the Chevrolet Blazer, we have an matriculating charging port door that comes down. And with this form factor, as you disengage and pull out more than once, this little piece down here has caught on the matriculating door. And I'll show you when I get over there, and actually popped the door clean off, and it landed on the ground, and then you have to go and put the plastic piece back in. With this, in the case of the Cadillac Lyriq and the Chevrolet Blazer, it's smooth on the bottom. So when I'm pulling out, I'm not going to be catching the matriculating door that is in the lower position below. So as I'm coming across, there's nothing really to catch. So I definitely like this one better. And all things being the same, I'm going to use this one in the Lyric. I have a Chevrolet Equinox as well, but its charge port door does not matriculate down. It's a manual charge port door that opens to the side, so that one is fine. I've also brought a temperature gun. Right now it's reading ambient temperature at about 82 degrees, and I'm going to be taking readings. I've drained my battery a good ways. I haven't charged up in a few days, so I'm going to let this car charge for a while, and this is going to be in the direct sunlight, and it's warm outside. It's the summertime. It's July in Charlotte, so this is going to get hot, and we're going to see how hot it actually gets as it's pulling electricity through it for a good long while. So we'll do that as well. Let's go ahead and get connected. I should mention before we get started that this adapter is not UL listed. It is UL 2252 compliant, but it is not currently listed with UL with the Underwriter Laboratory. So if that's a concern of yours, probably not the right product. For me, it's not a concern. I've never had a problem with EVDANCE products. And the way the locking mechanism for the CCS side is a clip like everyone else, for the NAC side, they actually have a dial, and I like this because it's more secure. It's kind of overlooked that we're dealing with lethal amounts of electricity that are going to be flowing through here into my car. Very high amount of energy. This adapter is rated at 500 amps, 1000 volts. And that's the exact same for the Electron Vortex and the A to Z Typhoon adapter. All three of these are 500 amps, 1000 volts. Now, one thing I was thinking about on the way over here, the Iona stations that have NACS handles can actually output 600 amps. And I'm thinking if I'm in a car that can receive 600 amps, this adapter is not going to know to throttle. And I'm thinking this thing might actually cook. And it's not only this one, but it would be the Electron Vortex and the A to Z. So I'm not exactly sure how that would be mitigated, but maybe there's thermal sensors in here that will derate, and similar with the A to Z and the Electron Vortex. But regardless, this is 500 amps, 1000 volts, which is a very high amount of electricity. And so the way they do it is a manual switch. And believe it or not, I prefer that because what we're doing is we're locking the NACS handle into the adapter securely without it having a chance of accidentally being flipped and pulled out accidentally. And even still, there's safety measures in here to keep it from arcing should something fail, but I kind of like that manual thing. And the process they go through, or they recommend you go through in order to connect it, is first connect the NACS to the adapter, and then in order for it to start, you have to turn this dial. You can see now I'm locked, and it will not come out until I manually spin this dial 180 degrees, and then it will unlock. So that is a unique design feature that I actually think is a good safety feature, and I like that. And it has the CCS connector that you could disconnect from the car from using this button. So that's how that works. And now this is the matriculating charge port door that I was talking about, which has been problematic with the A to Z Typhoon. And you can see as I connect here, this bottom part, when I pull the A to Z, more than once I've clipped the top part of this door and it's actually disconnected and fallen all the way on the ground. But with this one, it's not a problem because there's nothing under here to catch onto. And I actually like that better. So for sure, I'm going to be using the EVDANCE adapter on the Cadillac because I just like that feature better. But let's go ahead, and I have to fire up the Tesla app that is in my phone there. I didn't bring two phones in order to get this charging started. So let's do that, and we'll actually get a charging session begun. Okay, we just started charging. Let's go ahead and get a quick reading. Where's the red dot? Can't see. Oh, there it is. Okay, I got it. I am right now on the EVDANCE wording, and I'm at 120 degrees. So pretty warm. Let me see if it feels warm. Feels a little warm, not hot. It's like barely above ambient as far as the touch is, but yeah, so we're definitely getting some heat. But we'll see how it goes. I just started now. We're going to let this cook for a little bit. As I said, I posted up here at about 40%. And I'm definitely going to let it run for, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes or so, and we'll see how hot it actually gets. Okay, we're definitely charging. We're at 50%. I posted up here with 40%, and we were getting 144. We're down to 133. I'm not sure how many amps and volts I'm getting, but it's a 400-volt car, and definitely getting the throughput that I would have expected. Over 100 kilowatts at 50% is good throughput. And as I said just a few minutes ago, I was at 144. So no problem with the adapter throttling me at all. And we're gonna sit here. It's late July. I think today is July 17th, and it's 11:37 a.m. in late July in Charlotte, North Carolina on a bright and sunny day. So we're gonna let this adapter cook in the bright, hot southern sun and see how it does. It should be rated for the heat, but we'll see what actually starts building as far as the adapter temperature as time goes on. Okay, according to the Tesla app, we've been charging for 12 minutes and we're still getting 121 kilowatts. We're getting good throughput, but let's see what the temperature of the adapter currently is. Okay, I can tell you what, it's a hot day out. I'm actually having a hard time seeing the red dot. Okay, there we go. It seems like right about the same, well, no, a little bit more. Now we're up to 140. And where I'm hitting right now is right up here on this handle part. Let's get down to the EVDANCE location. Right there, I think. So it's a little bit lower down there near the EVDANCE area, but up near the handle here, it goes up to 140. And yeah, I mean, it's warm. I guess I would call it hot, but it's not like it's burning hot. But, you know, it's 140 degrees. So not quite the temperature that you could safely eat pork at. It is sure definitely hot. All right, we're gonna give it a little more to see if it gets warmer. 65% still pulling 116 kilowatts. Unsure of the voltage and amperage that we're receiving. So yeah, when I got back in the car just now, it's only been a few seconds since I took that temperature reading. The car itself is black, and I'd say the adapter is a similar temperature from the black paint on the outside of the car in direct sunlight. In fact, I'd actually say the car is a little bit hotter. I was touching the side of the car as I was opening the door. They've got kind of funny door handles in here. And so similar type of experience, not burning, but definitely hot to the touch. 71%, we are still over 100 kilowatts, pulling 108, at least on the display. That's actually a little bit higher because the BMS system and the air conditioning, once I turn it back on, will actually draw a little bit from this number, but this is the amount going into the battery, not actually being delivered to the car. But still, you can see over 100 kilowatts, so we're doing just fine. I'm gonna probably stop right around 20 minutes of charging time. Okay, according to the Tesla app, we've been charging for 20 minutes. We are at 89 kilowatts being dispensed. I'm gonna go ahead and stop charge, so we'll go outside and get a quick temperature reading on the adapter, and we'll see what the final temperatures say. Yeah, so we got a couple of, whoa, we got a 150 there. That's getting warm. Yeah, and again, the black car is actually warmer than this adapter. So just to give you kind of a impression, and the way they recommend disconnecting is you disconnect from the car and then you disconnect the adapter. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, a couple of final thoughts. So if I'm posting up to a Mercedes-Benz high-power charging network or a Iona station that has Alpitronics with 600 amp cables, and my car is able to receive it. I probably don't want to use this adapter, but it's not just that. I probably don't want to use any adapter because every adapter on the market right now is rated at 500 amps. And if you're able to receive 600 and the dispenser is able to dispense 600, you're running into an issue there. So just stay with your native plug if that happens to be the case for you. It's a rare case, either a Lucid or a Chevrolet Silverado or some of those 800 volt cars that can pull higher amperages with the bigger batteries. That's not the case for me in either of my two cars. It's going to be perfectly safe to use this along with any other adapter. Secondly, I was reading in the manual and it was talking about if it gets too hot, it will shut off and cause a charging fault. So it does have thermal sensors in here. So I was up to low 150s Fahrenheit. And I guess if it gets past the 180 that's mentioned in the manual, it'll actually shut off. It's got temperature sensors in there. It'll actually shut off. So that's good to know. Living in the southern United States or other places where it's very sunny. And today was in the low 90s. It's actually been hot the past couple of weeks. We've been in the upper 90s and low 90s every day for the past several weeks. So this is made out of black. And obviously the black metal is going to get hotter than black plastic. And so the heat coming off this was for sure a combination of the direct sunlight, the ambient temperature, and the amperage flowing through here. So all those things combined were making it go up to the 150. It wasn't too hot to touch, never got to a burning temperature, and it never shut off. So I'm pretty confident it's going to be very similar to other adapters on the market. And again, for me, the form factor is a benefit because it's flat on the bottom. So when I'm disengaging and going across the top of that articulating charge port door, it doesn't catch on anything. So I definitely like it for my Lyriq, and that is where I'm going to be primarily using this adapter, and I'll use the other adapter on my Equinox instead. So anyway, there you go. EVDANCE, J3400 to CCS1, or NACS to CCS1, or Tesla to CCS1, DC fast charger adapter. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you very much for watching.